You know, one of the great things about crypto is it always seems like there's something going on. There's always some space that's expanding. There's always some area that people are really invested in building. And that can happen no matter what's going on with the price. We just got out of a terrible 2022 where prices absolutely cratered. But even during then, there were still sections that were continuing to build and continuing to innovate. And today I really want to talk about one of them. Hi. My name's Brian with Web3 Focus, and today I want to dig into the Arbitrum ecosystem and show you what's been going on there. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit like and subscribe. It certainly helps out the channel. So like I mentioned, our Arbitrum has definitely been seeing a growth, and you can kind of see it here. This is a total value locked chart. It's not always the best metric just because there can be some double counting going on depending on leverage and things like that. But also total value locked will obviously fluctuate heavily with the price of things like Ethereum and other assets. And you can see in this chart that when total value locked was the highest, really correlated when the price of Ethereum was the highest. However, as we go along and we look at when it bottomed out, and then we look at sort of what's been going up, we can see that there's less of a correlation between total value locked and price, which tells me there is more stuff going on in this chain. This might actually be worthwhile to explore. Before I show you the ecosystem, I just want to show you some other metrics just to show the scope of what's being built and just sort of how much progress or how much momentum is going on in the Arbitrum space. So here is a Dune dashboard. It wasn't created by me. It was created by Henry Stats. He's made some great dashboards, and I absolutely love looking at this one. Here's just some metrics, but that's not really what I wanted to focus on. What I really wanted to focus on is sort of user growth and active addresses. Here we can sort of see new accounts as well as cumulative, and we're going to see this with a lot of metrics. We do see a little bit drop off in the last couple weeks or so, but we do see new addresses continuing on through November. And active addresses continue. So this is definitely people who actually stick around, continue to use the protocol. This isn't just bridging over once and dropping out. And again, active addresses are going up, number of transactions are going up. And it's less noticeable here because we've got this giant spike back in November, but contracts being deployed are increasing. Or at least it does look like over the last few months it has gone up a little, but it's really hard to see on that graph. And it's not just Arbitrum 1, which is what this is showing, but it's also Arbitrum Nova that's been seeing some growth. You can kind of see here, it's very small. But Arbitrum Nova is Arbitrum's layer 2 solution that's focused more for gaming and NFTs. That's going to be where a lot of the gaming, layer 2 gaming takes place is on Arbitrum Nova. It's really new, and you can really see that there's only so many users have come on, but we are seeing steady growth there. So there's a lot of growth in the Arbitrum ecosystem, just in terms of active users, transactions, just activity taking place in the ecosystem. So let's just take a look at some of the Dapps there. These are, I really want to focus on ones that are just on Arbitrum just to get an idea of the growth. I mean, the big one is really GMX. If you don't know what this is a protocol for perpetual lending. It's also a protocol that other people can build off of and can incorporate and can integrate with GMX. We have to do a whole video on that at some point down the road. We're not as much, not a lot of change there, 22%. However, GMX, if you look back in November or so, GMX had a pretty large run up there. And so that's of the Arbitrum protocols, GMX is definitely like one of the more well-established ones that's been around a lot longer, and so is a little bit more mature. So we're not going to see those large growth numbers we might see with some of these other ones like Radiant, which is a borrowing and lending protocol, 180% increase in total value locked. And if you look at CoinGecko, you'll see the price of this coin has just it's just been ripping. Most outside of GMX over the last month or so, all Arbitrum coins have really ripped. Radiant has gone up a lot. Camelot has just been absolutely ridiculous. You've been following that one; it just keeps going and going. Again, 115%. There's some of these other ones I'm not familiar with. Cyberswap's Gains Network. Haven't really dug into these as much. These are also very new, so I don't really know what to say with that. I know that Cyberswap has some really juicy APRs, so that could be what's contributing to this, something like 3 to 4 digits. So that might be temporary. I'm unsure on that one. There is another DApp that's missing from here that I should probably mention, which is Treasure DAO. It's not Treasure DAO and their token Magic. That's more of an Web3 gaming ecosystem they're currently building out, and so it's not going to be really reflected in a total value lock. chart like this. However, that has also been booming, at least in terms of their token price. It's been up about 300% since January. So we are seeing a lot of growth in the Arbitrum ecosystem. And this is despite the fact that Arbitrum doesn't have a token currently. I know that is something everyone is really excited about, and as everyone is looking forward to when they launch that token, which will be interesting to see what that looks like. But yeah, a lot of growth in Arbitrum. Layer 2 is really exciting. Optimism had a lot of growth earlier. However, a lot of that might have been a little bit incentivized due to this Optimism Quest thing. But Layer 2 is definitely booming, and I think if not this year, next year could be a huge year for it. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe.